Hello everyone, my name is Wendosen. We are going to start the next chapter of chapter 1, the next continuation of what we did last time. Today we're going to discuss about the different types of measurements. I would like to start with exact measurement. I'm sorry for my handwritings here, it's a little bit not that much perfect. And then the second type of measurement discussed is measured numbers. And exact numbers. So instead of saying measurement, I will say exact numbers. So we're going to discuss about two of the numbers, and later on we're going to see about something of dimensional analysis, and we're going to see how we convert one unit from one unit to the others. These are the three things that we're going to discuss in this video. What are exact number? I can give you a very simple definition of exact number. Let's say that if you count the number of students in your class, okay, exact numbers, if you count the number of students in your class, how many boys and how many girls are in the class. If you say there are 10 boys and about like 15 girls, in type of measurement, this is exact number. It's called exact number. Or if you count how many test tubes you have, in your lab station, how many test tubes or beakers or graduated cylinders you will have in your lab station, this is going to be exact number. So you may say like there are about 6 test tubes or 10 beakers of different sizes. You may have a graduated cylinder, maybe 3 graduated cylinders. Okay, so this basically is considered to be exact number. So I think exact number is pretty much simple and easy to explain. Measured numbers. What are measured numbers? So measured numbers are numbers that you use different tools or instruments. Okay, if you like to measure length or width of a table, the length and the width of a table, you basically need to have a ruler. Okay, so whatever number you get, that's called a measured number. So let's say that the length of a table, a regular table, might be 7.5 centimeter, and the width, this is going to be the length, and the width would be let's say 4.2 centimeter would be the width. So this is going to be measured number. I'm going to go to the next slide. Bear with me for a little bit. So we're going to continue with the next slide about measured numbers. Measured numbers, like I said, is something that you use instruments. You need to have instruments. So one of the things that we need to know about measured numbers are not always accurate. They are not always accurate. Accurate or accuracy. Accuracy means that if your measured value, if the measured value is closest to the true value, or you can say the standard value, that's called accurate. And the precise, we're going to use the terminology of accuracy and the precision when we measured some objects. So precise means that let's say that if the measurements are close to each other, they don't have to be accurate, but whatever measurements that you do, if the measurements are close to each other, we can say they are precise. Close to each other, so that's precise value. So when we are dealing with measured number, we have to look these two terminologies, whether our measured number is accurate and precise. So in most cases we do measurements to avoid mistakes or errors. I would say errors. When we say errors, there's going to be human errors. There's going to be also instrumental errors. Human errors actually comes from human perceptions. I'm going to write down here perceptions. Instrumental errors comes as mistakes from the instruments, maybe like the instrument when is not calibrated, the scale is not calibrated very well, or it might be old, so there is a calibration error. Instrument can be old. Okay, so these things will take into consideration. So we will have the human error, we will have the instrumental error. So when we do measured number, we basically have to use maybe like 3 times or 4 times to avoid errors. So we also need to know about, a lot of times students have problems in terms of identifying significant figures. I'm going to talk a little bit about significant figures. What are significant figures? Significant figures are numbers that we report when we do measurements. These are numbers that we report when we are dealing with measurements. When we do measurements, all the numbers, let's say, I can give you an example. We will have 4.075 centimeter. Now in this case, this is a length of some object, and we will have basically 4 significant figures here. Significant figures will become very tricky, especially when zeros are involved. Sometimes zeros are considered as a part of measurement, sometimes zeros are considered just as a placeholder. I'm going to explain about the zeros, whether they are part of measurement or placeholders, in the next slide. Bear with me. So significant figures, like I say in the previous slide, significant figures are all the numbers that we report when we do measurement. We will have let me give you some example. Let's say we have 0.0005 centimeter. Let's say we have 0.205 centimeter. Let's say we have 1.004 meter. Let's say we have 1,000. This 10,000 meter. Now in this case, I just pick the zeros, or let's say let's pick a non-zero number. Let's put 2.0798